Yeah, Tidehunter definitely a solid enough hero. We don't see it as much anymore, at least for the really top tier teams. Tidehunter kind of has fallen out of favor, and mostly because, first of all, there's the axe that could easily replace the Tidehunter. It's just that massive difference of how often can you initiate reliably. Tidehunter, you have a Ravage, but it has a 2.5 minute cooldown, which is massive. You can otherwise do so much, make so much happen within that duration, so I think that's like one of the reasons why Tidehunter has fallen out of favor, but that's not to say he's not that strong of a hero. You can still go for Ancient, just farm up jungle if need be with the Anchor Smash, and if you get the double ultimate, man, it's hard to fight into that.
Yeah, this is very hard to fight into the Refresher Ravage. I mean, that much stun, that much control is huge. But as you do quite rightly say, it's a long cooldown. What are they going to pair it with, and how are they going to deal with certain things? Most importantly, right now, I'm thinking, how is Tidehunter going to keep his mana? Because you pick up a Lion, mana warfare is his specialty, as well as burst damage. Lion can just deal with a Tide, in my mind.
Lion also one of those heroes that at the moment is kind of the flavor of the month. Of course, I think Lion has always been strong, but received slight buffs to like base damage, I do believe. Mana Drain got buffed a couple of patches ago already, so definitely strong enough here. And like I said, Mana Warfare, man, it's going to be hard for Tide for sure. Especially should he get the Refresher Orb as well. You cannot allow even a couple of seconds of the Mana Drain to be on you, to be honest, in that case. But Axe will be the secondary pickup, so Blink, Berserker's Call into Finger Death to follow. Not too many heroes can survive that.
No, they can't. And I think the axe was to be expected here. Team Ice, they didn't ban it, they didn't pick it, they knew they'd have to play around it. I mean, Axe lately has been absolutely insane. It went from hardly picked at all to these days pick every game. Every damn game. But there are ways to play around the Axe. It's just going to be up to Team Ice to find one of them.
Yeah, it's always hard. I mean, it's just the fact that maybe get some like burst damage of your own, because Axe, I think he's kind of weakest when he just picks up his Blink Dagger, just because most of the axes they just go Tranquil Boots into Blink, and you're not that tanky yourself, to be honest. Yes, during that Berserker's Call, you don't take too much physical damage because it gives a bonus armor at the same time, but magic damage, it can easily still just end up with the axe dying after he jumps in, and Wind Ranger Power Shot, excellent ability to do so, especially if Axe is the first one getting hit, so taking the full brunt of the 360 magic damage nuke. And of course Wind Ranger, just shackle shots to follow whatnot. Definitely not that popular of a hero, but how do you think it's gonna be ran? Off lane, mid lane, support Wind Ranger, which one would you prefer?
Well, right now, considering we already have the Tidehunter, this to me screams mid Windrunner. And a mid Windrunner in this case, I think, is the best alternative they could go for. Just needs to be very careful of, say, the Axe getting those blink calls, because the Wind Ranger really a squishy hero, even with Windrun. So got to respect that in the absolute least. But I'm trying to consider here, our bursts are going to go for the full mana warfare combo, because they've got the Lion for mana drain. They're up against a Windrunner as well as the Tide. Would an anti-mage in this case be a good choice? Because Tidehunter really doesn't have that much of a mana pool. You throw an anti-mage on him, he's not going to be able to ravage.
It's just a question of, do they feel the need to commit that much to just training a Tidehunter's mana pool? Especially because mana drain, as nice as it can be, the odds are that Tidehunter, he's not going to show his face before he's ready to ravage. At least when he gets a blink dagger. So let's say like 15 minutes plus into the game, he should already have the blink. So it's just not a guaranteed way to go, and not too sure if it's worth just going all in like that. Of course, it depends on like what other heroes they go for, and I think maybe like a fifth pick anti-mage might be fine, depending on how much lockdown Ice has, for example.
Okay, I can sort of understand that. I mean, I do like the anti-mage pickup of late. It does seem to have good cohesion with a lot of recent lineups. I mean, he works reasonably well with the Axe because it sets up for the Mana Void. Same for the Lion, more Mana Void damage. It works quite nicely. But in this game, there'll be no Drow, Troll, Puck, or, in this case, a Vengeful Spirit. So, again, common bans, nothing surprising here at all.
Yeah, and with this Vengeful Spirit ban, it's just when I see Vengeful banned out, I somehow immediately think of a Batrider. I highly doubt Team Ice is gonna go for one, already having the Tidehunter, of course, but we'll see what they plan on doing. I mean, Puck, all in all, is I think one of just the best heroes to run in more almost any lane. You can go off lane or mid lane, but just the Dream Coil and just the slippery aspect of the puck in general. But Burster now picking up a Dazzle, man. Do we see an aggressive tri lane? Or of course it might be just a dual off lane as well with the Dazzle Axe, but it is definitely a strong lane if that should be coming up from them.
I have a feeling we will be seeing that kind of aggressive creep cutting style. It forces the enemy, in this case Team Ice, to fully commit to dealing with it. Because if they don't, the Axe will just continue to cut creeps all day long with the Dazzle backing him up. It's the nastiest thing in the game, near enough, and it's, in some respects, the patented it, let's run at it strategy.
Oh,
If the Axe runs at you, what do? You have to run away.
I just got a flashback of, I do believe it was Power Rangers, where when FNG was still playing with them as well, they ran a Dazzle, Axe, Darkseer, aggressive tri-lane. So Axe was running around, surged up with the Ion Shell on top of him. Oh, that was nasty.
Yeah, that's something you don't want running at you. But in this case, they're going to have to go up against the Mirana. Now, I like the Mirana for the lineup of Ice so far, but this does mean Burster are going to need to carry around a good amount of detection. Because one of the ways you can deal with the Axe is you can use the Moonlight Shadow. Use that to cover your initiation onto the Axe, kill the Axe off quickly, and then look for more. It stops the Axe having an easy target to jump on.
I think it would be a pretty nice combination for sure. Also, the amount of pressure you can put on early to just kind of win your lanes is massive. Now though, Slark is picked up. There's a chance that he may be able to activate Darkback before the arrow lands. Although even that will probably be pretty hard for him if the arrow is timed perfectly when the disruption ends. So, in Shadow Demon Mirana, we haven't seen that combination much as of late, but when it comes out, usually it's a huge success. Now though, a Bane instead, definitely still a good enough combination. And if he wants to Fiend Script Slark at any point in this game, he's gonna have to just be point on completely with that timing of it.
Yeah, I'll completely agree with that one. And I do like the combination of Bane Mirana. Again, something we've not seen lately, but it can work. And this is a brilliant way of dealing with the Axe, because if the Axe runs at you, just put him to sleep. GG, what do? You can't do anything then as the Axe. It's a good way to deal with him. Of course, a sleepy Axe also shouldn't have creep aggro if memory serves correctly, so he shouldn't be spinning either. But now going into the final bans, we get Faceless Void banned out by Burster. Pretty good ban, in all honesty. I don't really think anyone wants to fight up against a Void when they've got the likes of a Ravage as well as, say, arrows to throw into the Chronosphere or at the Chronosphere's end. But the other ban in this case will be the Medusa, and this is going to take away one of the big right-click core heroes that's been picked up a surprising amount lately. Then again, she is reasonably tanky, and I suppose that's one of the nice, favourable things about a Medusa.
Yeah, the mana shield, definitely one of the strongest aspects. Early on, maybe not as great, but once you get like the Eye of Skadi, for example, it just boosts the mana pool just enough for the mana shield to be an extreme annoyance for you. Also, just the sheer late game with the split shot is too massive, and even Stone Gaze, it just completely stops fights. But Burster going for a much more aggressive route, no massive farming for them, picking up a Queen of Pain. So with the Axe, the Dazzle to back them up, of course, Queen of Pain as well now, and the Slark. I have to say I'm kind of fond of this lineup.
Yeah, I got to admit, I do like the lineup as well. Queen of Pain makes the draft for me, in all honesty. Has that big initiation power combined with the Axe. The setup is there for very nice amounts of control. Damage. Slark's going to have a nice amount of farm. This feels very comfortable from Burster. And I'm wondering what really Team Ice can do to deal with this. I mean, Slark's going to be running around. You got Axe going to be going full ham. Queen of Pain in the mid lane up against a Windrunner, I actually think does slightly, and I mean very slightly, favour the Windrunner, but it'll come down to play more than anything. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah, it really depends on now how Ice want to finish up their lineup. Did we need any kind of safe lane farmer? Who it's gonna be, it's hard to say, because especially ever since the changes of Queen of Pain, even like an anti-mage who otherwise has a spell shield isn't safe just because Sonic Wave is pure damage these days. So Axe can easily jump enough lockdown to kill off an anti-mage for the most part, I think. So what could Team Ice even go for as their last one? I mean, I don't really have any heroes popping to my mind randomly.
Alchemist. Alchemist, good negative armor across the board. Windrunner and Mirana can abuse that fact. The Tidehunter, even with the Anchor Smash, since it's physical, and he has high regeneration, something that will keep him alive during these fights. Instead, they're going to go for the Weaver, though. So I suppose they're going to try to play the, yeah, we can evade and be sneaky. But the problem with the Weaver pickup, in my mind, here is the fact they're already going to be buying detection for the Mirana. Now the Weaver, this is questionable in my mind. But it could work. Nothing is completely bad in Dota when it comes to drafting. So this could work.
It could. It really depends on how great of a time Weaver gets early on, how many items he can acquire, because usually it's like a Linken's build. Not too sure if Linken's will be the greatest item, but stopping like a Lion, Blink, Hex might already be worthwhile to have that item. It's just the fact that you need Linken's plus like a Desolator or any kind of damage item to actually be threatening. So I just feel like for Ice, a lot will hinge upon how well this Wind Ranger will do. I mean, kind of has to start the snowball a little bit earlier. Has to get great shackle shots, and of course, Bane, Mirana, man, that support duo should be able to set things up, but if by some reason they're unable to, I fear for them a little bit.
Yeah, I would as well. It's going to come down to the duo more than anything in this case, how much they can acquire. But as it stands, I suppose we should get the formalities out of the way, shouldn't we, Coacher?
Yes, but we might get a fight before that. There's a 5-man smoke, and if they get the Hex, oh, Lion! He hesitated a little bit, and Bane now, he sees everything, and, well, with boots, he is, or has plenty of speed to just outrun anybody.
He's always a reasonably fast hero, as is anyway. 315 movement speed by default, and they're baiting for this, and they actually are positioning. Could they actually take this fight? I suppose with the Weaver, level 1 Saguchi could get some damage across the board. However, sentries dropped. It's unwise now, and they realise it. They ping out immediately. It is warded, and they're going to have to deward that as soon as possible. But there's a Nightmare. Catches the Lion. Arrow to fly in from distance. The Slark does take away the Nightmare, so that's going to keep the Lion alive for now. But is the Slark safe as well? Arrow did actually impact 1230 on that Quark, but he's going to be well enough away. Nice save on the first blood.
That was just brilliant by the Slark, and didn't even get hit by himself. I was like, oh, if you go and body block it, you might just die yourself, but really expertly done. I mean, as a melee hero, not the easiest thing to do, just toggle it off like that. But, so, I'm gonna go over Ice fast. JJT will be playing the Tidehunter off lane, leaving Justin up on the Wind Ranger, and there's gonna be a defensive tri-lane of CLE on the Mirana, leaving B-Boy playing the Bane, and the last one is going to be PPRZ on the Weaver.
And of course, on the flip side of that coin, we've got on the Axe, Ayun, I think we pronounce that, as he's taken a good bit of harassment from the Bane, but not really going to be able to accomplish that much against the Axeman. He's got the Dazzle backing up. Speaking of Dazzle, going to be played by Ian, and he's hopefully going to be able to keep his Axe going, at least reasonably healthy. In the mid lane for the Burster lineup, we do have 1230. I'm not sure what the Chinese characters mean, so apologies for that one. And then up in that top lane for Burster, we do of course have Madafaka. I've seen him cast this guy for a long time. He's going to be handling the Slark, and the VR Cat on the Lion.
So far, no kills happening anywhere. Of course, Buster going for dual lanes on this bottom lane. They might get the kills. They definitely have a lane that might accomplish that. I mean, Weaver, not the tankiest of heroes, not that squishy either, having 3 branches as well as the circlet. But one Berserker Skull with the creep wave being there and a little bit of luck, a little bit of RNG might get the kill. Top lane also, they might even go for Tidehunter now. Earthspike comes out first, motherfucker will follow with the pounce. Hex used at the same time. A little bit just overlapping there. Hex was way too early, I think. But at least they force out the healing cell with nothing else. Do you think they would have gotten the kill had they used the Hex after the pounce ends?
Well, that Hex does reduce movement speed by a formidable amount, so yeah, I think they would have. And now Motherfucker's trading with JJT here. So this isn't exactly something you really ever want to do, trade with a Lion. Sorry, yeah, trade with a Tide, because the Tide has natural physical reduction through Kraken Gel as well as Anchor Smash. That's always something to fear and keep in mind. And just look at him, he is going full ham. He's just walking up and just beating on Cat, and there's very little the team can do here. As Anchor Smash comes through, that's going to buy them more than enough time. Motherfucker missed the pounce, not going to be able to catch him. And even if they did, the physical damage that you can do when you got Anchor Smash on you is limited.
Yeah, Slark gets like minus 34 or so, so it's only hitting for 40 damage. And oh, mid lane, there's a Nightmare into the arrow, it lands as well, but do they have the follow-up damage? Power Shot does come through, a few more right clicks, and that's gonna be first blood. Shackle, just to make sure there's no blink out from the Queen of Pain. So well set up, of course. I mean, Queen of Pain, literally nothing she could do. Top lane though, Earth Spike into the Tidehunter, but just not enough damage. No Dark Pact, just has that Essence Shift for now. But it's literally you cannot do anything unless you have somebody close by to take the Nightmare off.
Yep, that's pretty much the order of business though for Ice. They're just going to abuse that combination, Nightmare into Arrow. They need to do this all day long, especially to this Queen of Pain. We've both said how powerful the Queen of Pain can be if she finds any kind of space to get those levels. But now top lane Motherfucker in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to try to leap TP out. There's the Nightmare though. Will disjoint the arrow because that 1 second immunity, but will clean up quite nicely there. They'll bring down the Slug. Now they're going to bring down VR Cat with a couple of right clicks. Are they going to finish him off? He should be dead here. There's no way he's getting out of this one. And well, he should have just left his friend to die in this case. However, Ian will rotate in, trying to finish off B-Boy. I don't think he's going to be able to manage it, however. He doesn't have the point in Poison Touch, which is quite the big problem here.
So Ice, so far, Mirana and Bane definitely have made things happen, and exactly what they need to do as well, to be honest. Tidehunter has been having a pretty good lane as it is, being 1v2, up to 13 last hits, has more than the Slark, funny enough. Mid lane though, so far Wind Ranger has the greatest farm. And well, has a haste room bottled up as well. If the Queen of Pain overextend by a tiny bit, one blink might not be able to save you when the Wind Ranger does have the haste, because yes, the blink is nice, but it's on a 12-second cooldown, I believe. 15-second cooldown, okay, even worse.
Yeah, it's the slight problem here for the Queen. She needs more levels. 15-second cooldown blink. Sure, it's max range now by default, but it just hurts to not have that kind of mobility. I'm actually expecting Blink to be leveled second priority here as soon as she's got enough points in the Scream of Pain, just so she can move around the map and gank as much as humanly possible.
Well, where do you expect Burster to get their first kill? Pounce does come out. Maybe this is gonna be it, although Tidehunter, he's just so damn tanky with the Ring of Protection. 2 points into Kraken Shell. Mana Drain, a little bit annoying, but man, it's just Tidehunter, really the Slark just tickles him.
Yeah, it will. This is the big problem when you put melee heroes up against a Tide, even with a range backup from a support. It just, look at this. It tickles right now. The Earth Spike will come through, trying to buy some time, but when the Kraken Shell is going, when you've got Anchor Smash onto Motherfucker, how much do you hit the Tide for? Answer, 0. That's how much damage the Tidehunter will take.
Man, life is hard, although Tidehunter still has to be a little bit careful. Slark though, only level 4. If he had level 6, at least he could just go into the trees for a little while, have the Shadow Dance activate, get back to full HP, and then try to just harass Tidehunter once again. He would win that war that way. It would take him some time, but Tidehunter out of bottle charges. But just Slark not being even close to level 6. It's gonna take him that long, but Lion, man, he even skilled level 2 into Mana Drain just to be a little bit more annoying.
I sort of need to. Level 1 Mana Drain won't cut it, and the Axe Smash comes through again. Motherfucker clipped, and he really can't do anything. They are suffering up against this Tidehunter. I love this kind of draft and aggression from Ice. This is just working so heavily in their favour. But now we do get the rotations. In comes 1230 on that Queen of Pain. This could be oh so bad. The Hex is there as well as the Pounce, but, well, Sonic Wave does the job.
Yeah, maybe without the Queen of Pain, definitely lacking damage with Queen of Pain. Just that burst is massive. Justin, he was hunting for something. I think he was expecting Queen of Pain to farm up the jungle, probably so. But forces out the blink, nothing else of the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain might get a TP from the side shop and TP to the mid lane, or never mind. He can just run around as well, aimlessly doing nothing. Does have a TP scroll coming in from the chicken though, so probably back to mid lane.
Well, mid lane, speaking of that, you do have Ian just soaking experience here, making good use of the map while his buddy, the Queen of Pain, is around on the ganking job. But there is a limited amount this Dazzle can really do, considering he's always at threat of, say, the Shackle Shot combo. And if there's one thing this Windrunner can do, it's bring down the Dazzle.
Yeah, Dazzle definitely not all that survivable as... Oh god, bottom lane Axe, level 6, but he's gonna get Nightmared up. Did get a Battle Hunger before. Arrow will be spot on though, Swarm will follow as well. A few right clicks and, well, there's no escape for the Axe here.
No, even with the backup coming in from Cat, but this is just difficult to deal with right now for Burster. They just aren't finding the good fights. They aren't finding the engagements they need. More ganks coming through from the Queen of Pain would be good, yes, but she needs her ultimate, really. To deal with Tide, she needs her ultimate. To deal with the bottom lane, I should definitely say she needs her ultimate. Otherwise, she could end up to the combo for the Nightmare into Arrow.
Yeah, they really cannot be going like solo or even S2. I think they need at least 3 heroes present, and we might see exactly that. Burster, they have Axe TP into the mid lane instead of going bottom. Do they have a smoke at least? No, they don't. So they're just gonna go run in like real men do, I guess. Not too sure if that's the greatest idea. But if Axe gets close enough to the Wind Ranger for the Berserker's Call, it might be a kill. Who knows though?
Well, even running into the river like that, there's no ward there, so the ice didn't see it coming at all. But now, well, the Axe, Nightmare up, arrow to fly, not going to connect by the looks of things. Managing to dodge that one, but now, well, Justin could be in some trouble. Taunt is there, going to buy some time. Hex comes through as well. They're overlapping their spells again, but still, Ice just managing to fully tank out the fights. They're just running with everything, and the Axe is doing nothing. The Lion decides to die effectively by running away. Well, tries to run away from the Ravage, but there's no escape from that. He just runs into the fight to die. There's no way around this kind of thing. It's too easy pickoffs for Ice.
Axe did get himself killed by the neutrals though. The Satyr Tormentor Shockwave finished him off, so I guess managed kind of a deny. Maybe accidentally, but at least Ice get way less from it, or more or less nothing. Ravage also was used, only hit attacks, and it could have gone a little bit better considering that Ice, they knew what was going on.
Didn't it cut Lion on the side?
Oh no, Lion didn't get hit by the Ravage.
Well, he was still effectively food for that fight.
Yeah, he's just so damn squishy. I mean, 568 HP, 1 base armor is probably the biggest thing here as well. But top lane, motherfucker is at least gonna hit level 7 now. Has the Shadow Dance available. Definitely a lot harder to gank him. But 3 heroes are coming topside, and I mean, if you get Nightmared before the Dark Pact, you are still done for most likely.
Yeah, and now comes the rotation, looking for the Nightmare, but Motherfucker, those quick reactions, he's going to leap away and get straight into Shadow Dance.
Well, that could have been pretty difficult just because he just used the Dark Pact. But really nice pounce Shadow Dance immediately to get out. Still 6-1, the kill score. Looking at the net worth. Oh, mid lane, B-Boy not gonna get the Nightmare. Or is it? Well, he is, but I don't think there's the arrow follow-up. Lion does get rid of that Nightmare, and at what point do you start going for next level arrows, targeting the guys who are going to toggle off Nightmare?
I was just thinking that. So if you'd thrown that arrow at the Lion instead, because the Lion has been reliably taking it every damn time, so that would be genius. And if we see that, I will give credit where credit is due. That would be amazing. But right now, you've got Tide being a strong man up front line on the top lane. He's cutting the creeps, letting them get some tower damage for once. And well, if they can push this top tower down, that will be absolutely perfect. But in the meantime, Nightmare on to 12:30. This is a very bad place for him to be if the arrow can land, but there is no arrow to follow it up this time.
He was lacking like 2 mana for it or something. He does have the Sage's Mask, but even with that, mana regen was just a tad too slow for it. And with that, I mean, Bane, I guess, doesn't have too much mana issues having that Soul Ring ready. But Wind Ranger is stealing a double stack in the jungle at the same time, so Queen of Pain is going to find out that it was stolen from him. But I mean, Ice, are you... Oh, bottom lane. Axe might lose his life, then again, Weaver. Never mind. Pounce way off target. Easily gets rid of that Battle Hunger as well. Kills off a creep. And not much Slark can do by himself, although... Never... To be honest, I think Weaver should have gone for Axe a little bit earlier.
Possibly, yes. But right now, PPRZ trying to mess around with Motherfucker, and Arrow's going to fly completely whiffing it, though. Part of me wonders, where is the follow-up? Where is the response from the rest of the Burster lineup? Here we go, there's the Queen of Pain, looking for the combo. Doesn't quite manage to bring down PPRZ, but he's going to have to run away and regen, surely. He doesn't have another time-lapse. They will get the Mirana, at least, for their efforts. And, well, Weaver needs to be very careful.
Nicely juked into the trees, though, but oh, doesn't have a TP, so he's going to keep on running as Wind Ranger. Does clean up a Dazzle top lane with the help of the Tidehunter guys. I mean, I thought Queen of Pain might try to just go for a little bit longer, but he's gonna be safe for now. Has an ultimate orb ready, so he survived the combination of Queen of Pain before with that ultimate orb. Gonna be even easier as mid lane Pain gets the Nightmare onto the Queen of Pain. TP's coming in from the Mirana. I think a bit too late, or never mind. Arrow does connect. Not the 5-second stun, but one more right click. He's gonna go down, bottling up in between right clicks. Still not enough. So Queen of Pain just hasn't had that great of a game so far.
No, Bursters have been on the back foot this entire game, and it shows. Queen of Pain's normally the kind of hero that will take dominance of an entire map as we get a Blink initiating Jest and doesn't quite manage to land the Shackle. But VRCat's going to have to respect the potential now of this Blink Dagger Windrunner. As I was saying, the Queen of Pain just hasn't had the kind of game that we normally expect a Queen to have. Normally, she'll be controlling the entire map, ganking every damn lane, making sure that no one can move without fear of a Queen. But just not happening here, is it?
No, most certainly not. And the same can be said for Slark as well. Slark is one of those carries that is rather active early on, but this Slark, even if he is active, what can he actually accomplish? I mean, you can pounce somebody, but you're going to need your entire team to be there, and it's just that much harder with Axe not having the Blink. He even has picked up a Vitality booster, so the Blink won't be coming out anytime soon. There's no stacks for him to farm up and just get flash farm that way. So Ice with just Mirana Bane, and all in all, strong lanes other than those supports as well. The Weaver, I think, was just an excellent hero in this sense that he can handle almost any lane solo as well if it really comes down to that. He just definitely freed up the supports to do really whatever on the map.
Well, here we go. Moonlight Shadow, they're going to look to try to make use of these supports now and see if they can't get another set of kills. We're looking for a Nightmare, but look at the lineup of Bursters. They are all so far back, but the Queen of Pain jumps in. Fiend's Grip, there's no way out of this one. She gets cleaned up in seconds. Now, could they look for more? VRCat drops the finger, manages to get the Bane, but that's going to be as much as they can. 1-for-1 trade. Losing your crop for a Bane, though, is not what the Bursters are needing.
Man, the Finger of Death, though, man, that burst is ridiculous. Poor Bane, but still a worthwhile trade. Long cooldown on the Finger of Death, first of all, but Queen of Pain for a Bane, any day, any time. And this game, Queen of Pain has the Ogre Club. Top lane, never mind, motherfucker. Probably won't die to Tidehunter, and don't think the opposite will happen either. But
yeah, might actually, considering the number of stats stolen. But now in comes a Shadow Dance. Ravage, however, will be committed. Anchor Smash will do the job. We could see a fight up there, and we could certainly see a kill, it seems.
Man, I didn't think that they're gonna go at it for so long. Tidehunter definitely felt comfortable, man. Even had 2 stick charges, not that it gives you too much, but Slark just overestimating his abilities or his health pool.
He was overestimating how much he could have actually used out of Essence Shift, since, as quite rightly corrected by Manichok, every hit does drain 19 health from the Essence Shift.
And well, for this Queen of Pain with the Ogre Club, Aghanims or BKB?
I think in this game, BKB, he has to dodge the Ravage. It's a must in this case. There's no way that 1230 is going for the Aghanims.
It just feels like Queen of Pain is just definitely like not one of those heroes that wants to build a first item BKB. That's just not how that hero is designed.
No, she wants to be aggressive. She wants to get in the enemy's face. And I wouldn't say an Aghanim's first item would be the right choice in this case either. If you want to go with an aggressive option, Orchid, or Ewel's if you need to, or Orchid of course being better, or if you have plenty of gold, Hex, not really Aghanims. Aghanims is nice stats, sure, but versus a hard CC or a Silence. You prefer the hard CC or a Silence, but Motherfucker now trading up with B-Boy. Can he get anyone? No, he can't, because 1230 cleans it up instead. Pounce away there by the Slarky should be safe, especially up in that extra bit of jungle. But, oh, CLE lurking still might find something, but, well, you've still got 1230 trading with PPRZ. Now in comes Motherfucker again, arrow, point blank, but it's still going to be enough to bring down that Mirana when the Slark turns around and just beats her in the face. And PPRZ gets hexed up. There's going to be no escape for him there either. That's a 3 for nothing. What the hell just happened, Ice?
That was a Fiend's Grip up on the Slark, but I believe he got a Dark Pact off. So shrug off the Fiend's Grip, get the Shadow Dance, survive. Oh god, that was a just as horrible as trades can go for Ice almost. But then again, they do have a Blink Dagger on Tide now. Ravage pulling off in 14 seconds also. So I guess it's not like super disastrous. They are still ahead, but wouldn't expect or wouldn't have expected them to make such a mistake. I mean, it felt like an easy kill on Slark, but Dark Pact just turned everything around.
Yeah, Dark Pact, it really is such a powerful ability when you think about it. But right now, well, pings go out. They realise the Tidehunter is here. This isn't a safe place for you to be, Tide. There's an actual defensive ward here coming out of Bursters, trying to protect their own jungle. But, well, he's going to have to TP out. doesn't really want to hang around. Speaking of that, mid lane, we do have an aggressive push coming in from Ice. If they can get the tier 1, that would be very nice, but the setup and the defense from Bursters is real in this case.
Oh man, but we have a Blink Lion, and considering that their team has been on the back foot, 17 minutes in having the Blink, not too shabby at all. Of course, no Tranquil Boots. Mid lane, motherfucker. Does have drums, so he's pretty speedy, but no Blink to really catch up to a Wind Ranger. Gus to slow him down. Nightmare is there, but he shrugs it off again. Arrow will still hit with a nice Blink Ravage, landing onto 3. Goddamn, easy kill on 1, but Axe will come in. Berserker's Call only lands onto Bane, who has used every single one of his spells. Although, dunk, double dunk, Axe. He's on a roll. They get the Hex onto the Wind Rangers as well. It does end. As from the backlines, Weaver, I believe. Yes, killed off Lion now. Does still keep on going. It's a 3-for-2 so far, motherfucker. We'll have to escape. Weaver, long range power shot. Clips, motherfucker, a tiny bit. As Wind Ranger still alive, going for the axe. Just kiting him around with the haste rune. Not too sure if he can get the kill though. 10 stick charges as well on axe if he wants to use them. Stick, Berserker's Call. Nope, just Battle Hanger first. But Weaver does survive.
He was trying to bait him in there so they could get another taunt, but right now, well, PPLZ on the high ground. This could be quite bad for the Bursters. They don't realise the Weaver's here until it's too late. The Shackle doesn't latch, but now the right click's coming in. The negative armor starting to stack up as well. Call used to try to buy some time and live, but PPLZ going very aggressive. Moonlight Shadow popped as well. This aggression does pay off in the end. Weaver manages to bring down the Dazzle, but Queen of Pain will get a counter kill, bringing down the Wind Ranger with, of course, that Sonic Wave.
So it was a 4-for-3 in the end, I think. Slark, pretty damn slippery axe, kind of tanky as well. The Ravage was nice to start things off. They got a couple of kills, but just, first of all, axe. Now he has the Blink there, but if he only had it in the last fight, he had to run in so deep as Tidehunter. They get the kill on Slark, who I guess got a little bit overeager after surviving the previous engagement, but axe, he went for a Bane who literally had used every single one of his abilities. I mean, not the primary target for a Berserker's Call, but now with the Blink can definitely choose a little bit better.
Yeah, the Blink is going to be such a driving force at Bursters. They've needed this for a long time. He did go for that early Vitality boost to try to tank up a bit, but they really did need this Blink. Consider now, though, they've got a Blink on the Axe, they've got a Blink on the Lion. They've got 2 heroes that can now get in the enemy's face and start these fights. Most importantly, they've got instant initiation, Hex, Taunt. There are ways now to kill this Weaver off, at least until this Weaver finishes off the word failing me, but he's going to go down either way here. Finger of Death commit as well. The Lincoln Sphere is what I was fishing for, words-wise. And the Lincolns will protect against the Hex, but it's not going to help him versus Aeon's Taunt, is it?
Yeah, most certainly it is not. I guess there's a tiny chance that you're not going to get Culling Bladed thanks to that Lincolns, but Axe, maybe it's gonna happen the first time. Second time, there's gonna be a Battle Hunger before the Culling Blade. That's just how it's gonna go down, probably. So, nice kill on the Weaver for sure. They didn't get the best Berserker's Call, but the follow-up was definitely there. I mean, Blink Hex, another easy 2.5 second stun, then the Earth Spike to follow. And Wind Ranger has picked up a Maelstrom now. Yeah, he's going for the kind of standard build. Blink, Maelstrom, maybe Aghanim's next, something along those lines. Maybe a 4-step, who knows how much mobility she wants. But Burster definitely just showing force now. BKB finished on Queen of Pain and Axe with the Blink, ready to jump on somebody.
With his Smoke Gang, this could be very nice. Justin will be the target. They put both the initiations on him, both the Hex and the Taunt. Again, excessive overlapping of cooldowns. It's something that's sort of niggling at my OCD, but it's working for them. I can't fault them.
Maybe it's... I mean, they get the kill, so it's fine. But it's still not fine in the sense that you have to waste a little bit more mana doing so. I guess Lion doesn't care too much, having mana drain maxed out. Quite easy for you to just get a full mana pool once again, but Aeon now up on the Axe, gets a triple stack of Ancients, I believe. Lots of gold coming his way, has the Vanguard finished up also. Suddenly kill score 14 to 12. I'm not entirely sure how big the discrepancy was before, but I have a feeling that the kill difference was at least like 7 or 8 at one point even.
It was. There's the Blink initiation looking for that for the Weaver, but it's going to pop the Lincolns now. He has to deal with that annoyance. Still, things are looking up for Bursters. There was that kill discrepancy of about 7 kills. You're about right on that one. And as it stands, this is starting to come back quite heavily in favour of the Bursters. Graph-wise, sure, it's still slightly favouring Ice. Experience now falling to Bursters, but when I think about the power that Bursters can bring to the table and the item choices they can now opt for, I actually like Bursters' opportunities here going into the mid to late game, considering Crimson Guard will be coming up for the Axe soon. That's going to help up versus that Weaver quite heavily and the Marana. You're going to have the options of, say, Aghanims if the Lion wants it. More likely, he, however, will go for a 4-staff to protect his team. Queen of Pain, she's got the BKB. She can now go for one of those offensive options I mentioned earlier. Can start looking for perhaps the Orchid or, I think, in this case, the Sheepstick.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Sheepstick over Orchid. I still think Aghanims might not be too bad of a choice because you have the Axe who can set up fights rather often, so with the Sonic Wave being on a 40-second cooldown, at least you have massive burst follow-up as well. But Hex, definitely not a bad choice. I mean, Hex is never a bad
Ravage,
item.
everything being commit. Fiend's Grip as well onto A, and this has all gone sideways. Such a trap that was just set by Ice. Oh, they made it look like the Weaver was tasty, and it just all went wrong.
That's just, that is the power of a Tidehunter, just because... Yes, Axe, maybe like a center war runner, they can initiate a lot more often, but their initiation range, or well, the range of the disable, a hell of a lot smaller than a Ravage. So, perfect bait coming out from them. Can they also get the tier 2 from this?
I should think so. If they can get the tier 2, that would certainly help them out. I mean, you consider the gold on the map still, there's a good 3 towers out as ones that they can grab, and they've not lost any of their own. So Ice, if they can maintain the tower advantage, maintain the gold from that, then yeah, I should think certainly going to be the order of business. But they're not going to be able to take these towers that easily, or are they? 1230 gets caught by a long-range arrow. That's going to help out, and now in comes the aggressive Slark, but he is far out of position. Nightmare on the Bane to try to buy himself some time, and motherfucker has to back off. He's well out of position.
It's unfortunate, but he's just so speedy when there's no vision of him. So with the Shadow Dance and the Blink, he got so much distance between himself and his team. Of course, didn't get punished because a nice Shadow Dance made it so that Bane cannot really use Nightmare on him. Fiend's Grip already on cooldown also. So Burster, they don't get any kills, and to be honest, they're just losing tier 2 damage now just because of it. They went there as 5, and at the same time, Icer's like, okay, we're gonna bait them with a couple who are really mobile. We're just gonna outrun them and then go for another objective.
And speaking of other fights, here we go again. Finger of Death committed. Down goes that Windrunner. Lion will take himself a nice easy kill there off the initiation from the Slark. And the defenses are slowly coming from Bursters, but they're taking so much damage on these tier 3s. Sorry, tier 2s. That's a big problem.
Oh, it most certainly is. It's just free gold for Ice if they manage to bring them down. They're still looking good. I mean, they have gone a little bit sloppy maybe, or Burster has just found their own groove by a tiny bit. As Arrow, will still hit on VR Cat. Oh god. There's no follow-up though, of course. Axe standing in the front lines, being a bouncer there, but tier 1, no glyph to be used. Maybe gonna get denied. Blink! Berserker Skull does catch Bane. Does he get him far enough out? There's a Nightmare to follow. And Ravage, 3 seconds on cooldown. Arrow will not hit. Nightmare ended just before. But this could have been disastrous if Burster committed a little bit more, although they're still going. Pounce does miss the Bane. Oh god, motherfucker forced to use the Shadow Dance, and well, Tidehunter Blink is disabled with that Battle Hunger, but is he gonna Ravage anyway? Whew, thank god he didn't.
No, they're all so evasive right now. I was going to fly through from Marana, but that's going to airball, and just Ice not finding the fight that they want. A good Ravage there could maybe have turned things around, but the team was just escaping far too quickly. This is one of the things that we've seen a lot lately from, especially Team Secret. Teams that can escape cleanly have a better shot at winning the game, because they don't give away anything when they trade.
Man, it's just so frustrating to play against such heroes. They come in, nibble at your tower, even if they don't get it down, they're gonna make a clean escape and maybe even be split pushing a couple of lanes with the other heroes. Blink, Berserker Skull does catch the Tide. The tankiest hero though, they do have the Sonic Wave need be forced left the wrong way. Moonlight Shadow was there. There's the Fiend's Grip out to the axe as well. There's gonna be a Wind Ranger. Complete dodge. Ravage hits at least 4. Tidehunter still alive. He needs one more right click, maybe 2 now with him bottling up at the back line though. 4 versus 1 Weaver just running through them. They do have a sentry down, but Weaver's still gonna be fine for now. And in the end, with all those spells being committed, it's only 1-for-1.
And now, well, you still got Motherfucker in the back line. They could bring down the Slark, especially with the 3 of them there, but, well, the final part of the damage needed the Brain Sap. Pure damage dealing with that Slark.
Man, it was a pretty nice Ravage. Of course, Tidehunter was extremely low before that even happened. Wind Ranger kind of blinked in, didn't do too much in all fairness, but they will get the tier 2 on top of it. Got 2 core heroes down, and Slark is a heavily momentum based core, to be honest. And he does have blink and drums, but looks like BKB will also be the next choice for him, as it was for the Queen of Pain early on. So this Slark also might be just lacking a little bit of damage. I mean, just look at how long it took them to kill the Tidehunter there. They even used a finger on him, I believe.
Well, this is the thing. Tidehunter will tank up quite nicely, especially against these physical damage supports and, well, physical damage cores. And, well, the downside, the big downside, you're going for what I believe to be a BKB on your Slark. You really want to be doing that. I mean, to quote Draskell, BKB can be a game-losing item. It gives you protection, sure, but it doesn't help you out in terms of damage in any stretch of an acceptable way. 16 damage from the Mithril Hammer component is not enough.
Oh, it's most certainly not. Especially considering that, well, looking at the Weaver, if he wants to, he's gonna have his Desolator in about 900 gold. And Nevermind has the recipe already, so he's gonna have it in 40 gold. So after this camp, that's gonna be Desolator finished. Even with BKB, you're just not gonna be safe from that physical damage, and Weaver, I mean, they need Axe to get the Berserker's Call onto the Weaver if they want to be able to kill him. But even then, it's maybe not going to be as easy when there's a Tidehunter Ravage coming and just kind of stopping at least 3 of Burster's heroes, even if BKBs are there on 2 of them. I mean, Queen of Pain, yes, can do a lot of burst damage, but if it's going to be enough to kill a Weaver, we shall see.
I honestly doubt they're going to be able to bring down the Weaver in this case. Weaver just has so many ways to escape, to play slippery, as we've said many a time in previous casts. And this is the thing about the Weaver. One of those heroes, again, that has that escape potential.
And even the Bane is just so mobile. Blink, Force Staff. But if I'm in Smoke, Smoke does break. Blink! Oh god! Wind Ranger got his own Blink out and he is completely safe. So it was pretty much Axe blinking from here to here, and Wind Ranger from where the Axe blinked, he blinked the other way. Just crossing the trees at the same time, more or less. So a little bit unfortunate for Burster, 5-man Smoke, a little bit wasted. At least forcing out the Moonlight Shadow, so it's something there. Ice still looking good, man. This Weaver with a Desolator now is extremely scary.
Yep, and now I think it's time to shift gears. We get a Smoke coming out of Ice, and now, well, if they can catch Bursters, this could be a very good opening for them. But they really need to be careful, since they're going to be going a long way. There's no one showing on the map now. You'd think that Bursters would have some kind of idea that something is amiss.
Well, you would think so, but at the moment by the positioning, they're grouped up. But being grouped up against Ravage may not be the best.
Motherfucker goes for it. He's going to get brought down. There's no way out of that. But now in comes 1230. This isn't a good fight for him. He gets forced to BKB. The damage is there. Weaver's going to be able to clean that one up. But the Shallow Grave will buy a few more seconds. Still, Ian as well as Ioun will both get caught by the Ravage. Trying to TP out. Is he going to be able to? Yes, he will. But still, that's 2 easy kills. Queen of Pain managing to hobble out of there as well.
Yeah, I mean, just BKB plus a Shallow Grave. Definitely saving the Queen of Pain there. Although, even with the BKB, just once the Weaver focuses on you, you're still going to drop extremely fast. I mean, armor only 7, so you're going to get brought to 0 with the Desolator. Just not a favorable position. And now Arrow into Roshan, going to make it a little bit easier for them to do so. They even have a Medallion, plus the Desolator, of course. Easy ages. I would expect Weaver to pick it up.
Yeah, this should go on to the Weaver in all honesty, but now in comes the Taunt from the Axe, looking to try to do some work, but with the combo, with the Queen of Pain, doing good burst damage on everyone. They lose the Pain, they may lose the Weaver, but he manages to time-lapse the last second. JJT, low health as well. They're dealing with the Axe in the meantime, but Roshan bashing away on Cat. Oh, Cat, this is not what you want. He does smoke to lose aggro, but, well, that's not going to help when PPRZ comes through. We'll clean up the Lion there.
And Queen of Pain snatch
yeah,
the Aegis.
I'm waiting for this. Can we get an Aegis snatch? Yes, we can. In fact, it's not even a snatch. It's a kill on Roshan as well. So Dyer get the gold and the Aegis. Can he get out of here in time? Yes, he can with that blink. But now in comes Ladderfucker. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication between the two. Still, arrow's going to fly. Going to be dodged, but blink forward from Jestin. Tries to throw the shackle. Won't latch to anyone. Ladderfucker safe. Healed by Ian. He's not going to be falling this time.
And Queen of Pain. Oh, that was so huge. Getting the gold, getting the XP, and the Aegis will, even though you lost it, perfectly fine, because Weaver will not have it. Also, I have to say, Burster coming in with the Blink Berserker's Call, Sonic Wave to follow, pretty good stuff, to be honest. So, making the best out of a, well, kind of a bad situation at least, but Tidehunter, slowly but surely still working towards that secondary Ravage as well. Queen of Pain already has used 3 of the BKB charges. Slark well, still doesn't have his own BKB. I mean, in some sense, it's good to get the BKB later, but considering that you're not getting any other damaging items, it's still not that great for the Slark. Yes, it's gonna be higher duration, but that's about it.
Indeed, and in the meantime, we do have B-Boy being very aggressive. Now, he is in the middle of nowhere, and I would like to know what he's up to. I mean, if he was just warding and then blinked into the trees, I can understand that, and I suppose he's just waiting for a safe place.
It would have been a kill if this ward would be on the opposite side of the stairs. He would have seen Axe farming this camp, could have just Fiend Script.
Oh no, they knew Axe was there. They pinged him out. They pinged him out, but there was no
they
follow-up.
didn't have exact vision. They saw him going to the camp, but they didn't see him in the camp.
I doubt that he would have been able to kill him on his own anyway, but we've got a courier bringing out a Ogre Club for...
Dazzle, though, might go down. The Swarm, is it going to be enough? It is. Power Shot would have finished him up if the Weaver Swarm wouldn't have been. And B-Boy still gonna run into Lion. Blink forward, but Blink out as well. 4-step. Oh god, he wants the kill so bad. Arrow is gonna follow up. Do they have enough damage? Brain Sap is there. A few more right clicks. And that's gonna be the death of the Lion.
Indeed, and they've got to get the courier out there as well. That was some, we'll call it unique courier piloting. But almost losing the courier there as well. Got to be very careful with that. Still.
God, another nightmare. Fiend Script to follow. Arrow as well. No chance to get the BKB off. Motherfucker does jump the Mirana with the Berserker Skull, but the Ravage is there. BKB was there on the Slark though, so they're gonna get the kill. Never mind. Linken's nice uses from the Weaver. Saves his friendly Mirana. Motherfucker, his BKB didn't accomplish anything in the end. Oh god, that's just a disaster. Arrow will not land into the Dazzle. So, are they gonna go for Rex? Are they gonna back off? Aggressive Weave does come out, but Weaver, man, what? Just usage of the Linken Sphere, putting it on the Mirana like that.
That was absolute genius right there. I got to admit, I do love that play. And now, motherfucker, in a bad way. Arrow going to fly. Shackle's there as well. This is the bad thing about Busterina's kind of lineup. They're all so susceptible to this Bane combination, and they're getting punished so heavily. B-Boy, however, does like a physical damage bomb from the heel, but...
He was like on the last second of the negative weave on him as well. That's why he took such a huge amount, but does survive. That's just still the power of Dazzle's weave if it gets long enough of uptime. But that's a Rex advantage for Ice. Burster, they just lost so many heroes one by one, and that's just completely unacceptable.
Yeah, it is. They're just losing them one at a time to the Bane into Mirana Arrow combo over and over and over again. And you just can't afford to do that in this game.
It was especially sad to see Queen of Bane dying like that, just because you have a BKB, you have a Hex, but you can't use either of them just because you are locked down until your death. And that's a heart of the task for a Weaver, just to guarantee that pretty much nothing can kill him. Like, how do Burster plan to bring this hero down?
I suppose it's within their name. They try to burst him, but that's near impossible. If he gets even a half second, he'll time-lapse, and then, well, all of your work is for nothing. But they're setting up to take this tier 2 now. If they can get that as well, this is just gold for Ice.
So I'm gonna make a claim that this Weaver will not die anymore in this game.
What are the stakes of said claim?
I can't stake it too high because you can never... Oh, no! God, the BKB was there in Queen of Bane, so no arrow will stun him at least when it comes out. But still a BKB charge force for a Fiend Script. Kind of an even trade, I guess, but I cannot bet too much on that fact just because people, especially when ahead, tend to do stupid things. And 1v5, he can still die.
In the meantime, they're going to try to bring down Ian. Arrow's going to fly through. That'll finish off the Axe. They do get the tier 1 for the Axe's death, so I suppose that is mathematically worth it. But you consider their position on the map, where they're one hero down, they're losing an Axe. This is sort of not where you want to be for Bursters.
Well, certainly not. And Windranger now even has an Invis rune. I don't think there's any detection. There is a Sentry as well as Dust up on that Dazzle, but probably not gonna randomly Dust to see if maybe there's like a Windranger Invis around. But then again, like I mentioned earlier, Sentries and Dusts with a Weaver is on a lineup with a Mirana, you kind of have to carry them anyway. And Windranger did already lose that Invis and has a double damage pulled up. Double damage focus fire is gonna be so much pain.
Yeah, it is, especially with the Aghanims flying out to her now. This is going to hurt. This is just straight up abuse of Windrunner right now. Still, 4-star forward from V-Boy. He was very aggressive. And what was he doing in the enemy base? What?
He left the ward behind.
Oh, God. Sneaky. Sneaky bastard. But
It's just
as it
perfect
stands,
vision for them.
yeah, we may have a blink call attempt here from Axe if we're not careful. We do have the entire lineup alive, ready with all their ultimates. So this might be the last attempt. Bursters get a good defense.
To be honest, I would maybe even prefer Ice to wait for like a minute or two.
Oh, long range arrow, long range arrow. Now they're going in. Ravage to connect the Motherfucker only, but they burst down the Slark with absolutely no problems at all. Ian in the tree line, Fiend's Grip onto Eun, but now in comes the Queen of Pain, looking to do what he can, but he just can't do anything. Everyone's melting on the lineup of bursters. Buyback from the Queen of Pain. Ian will go down. Still, Queen of Pain trying to get into the mix. Double kill for PPRZ, but Ian will fall again by the looks of things. Arrow, no, there's just nothing you can do. PPRZ, triple kill. After buybacks, that's absolutely nuts. We've even got JJT refreshing. He's got another Ravage ready to go. This is just overkill.
Yeah, it most certainly is. And that first Ravage, I believe it only did connect on the Slark. But no buybacks on the heroes. I mean, Dazzle did have buyback, but had a dieback. Queen of Pain still alive as Lion. Just 3 right clicks from the Weaver. That's all it takes. So 38 minutes in, I think the just fate of this game has been decided.
Yeah, there's the GG call. A very solid Game 1 performance from Ice. They played very well. They had some really unique jump-ins. They baited out a couple of traps. And the Lincoln's play, by putting the Lincolns onto the target that's about to get cold, just made me smile. It was just good play all around from Ice.
Yeah, most certainly kind of impressive plays by them. And we both really liked the Dire lineup as well, to be honest, but they needed their core items a little bit earlier. They just kind of lost their lanes. Maybe a full-out aggressive trident would have been better. They just had so much trouble with the offlane Tide and Iceman making things work. Queen of Pain in the end, last fight, got a huge Sonic Wave, but unfortunately, that was the only damage that their team did. So guys, this was only game number 1 though of a 2-game series, so we're gonna have game number 2 to see if Burster can maybe retaliate, get some minor revenge, even up the series. But of course, as always, if you like this, guys, be sure to follow us on HeflaTV on both Facebook as well as Twitter. And if you want to follow the casters, leave us some feedback at Coucher for me, at Mr_Blackadder for my co-caster. Both of those are in the title on Twitch as well. So see you guys for game number 2.